Hello, everybody. Long time no see. Trying to. Ah, knocking things over here. Trying to. Oh, get notifications silent. Because I don't want it to go zzz all day. I'm just trying to see if I can tilt this a little bit better. Not like that. Just want to tilt it a little bit. Let's not. Trying to see what I can put on. Tilt it up. There we go. Tilt my computer screen down. Now you got more of my face versus more of the ceiling. How's everybody doing? Hey, lovely Hope. How's it going? Having coffee and a cheese and egg omelet with onions. And how was your Halloween? Jeez, eh? I've been busy lately, and when I haven't been busy, the house has been busy. So doing a live event when there's a whole bunch of people making lots of noise is pretty much impossible. Hey, Amanda, how's it going? I'm having an omelette. Some onion, cheese, and eggs. Hey, teasers, pleasers. How's it going? An omelet with cheese and egg. I just made in the oven, and then my coffee because I was hungry. I don't know what it is when I get up really early. I get hungry. If I get up at like my normal time, like I've been up since about 5. Tried to stay asleep till 6:30, but I've been up and I was like, oh, I'm hungry. I think also since I started eating, I did have a piece of Halloween candy and a little bag of chips because we handed out chips last night. Once you start eating something, it makes your stomach remember that, oh, you're hungry. But yeah, it was a good to celebrate someone's birthday. Awesome. Whose birthday was it? Good, just got to work. Hey, go to the bank and work. Hey, everybody. So, we didn't end up having snow yesterday, thank goodness. The snow that we had in that video that I took had melted. We did have rain, but it stopped raining just before, well, the major rain just before the trick-or-treat treaters came out. So just before 6, so it was about 5:30 it stopped raining. And then throughout the evening, like the next 2 hours, because we were out for 2 hours, there was a tiny mist, a little bit, but not much. So but there was hardly any trick-or-treaters out. Like, I picked up 2 boxes of Doritos to hand out. Happy birthday to your sister, lovely Hope. and we only opened up one, and we have 33 left, so each box has 45. But I think they didn't count very well the box, because my daughter's friend, I gave her two or three. Hubby had one, Rowan had one, and we had at least about, we had maybe 20 kids, but there was 33. I'm like, okay, they can't count, I swear. So it must be a rough estimate when they put the numbers on the box. So we got a lot of little boxes, bags of Doritos. Which it's not bad, because we like Doritos. Last year we bought chocolates, which was the first year we did chocolates, and then I had to have a nut-free option, because there's always kids that are allergic to nuts. So I had some nut-free, but that was just too complicated for hubby to hand out. It's just easier to grab a bag of chips and give them. And not have to worry. So did you guys get any trick-or-treaters last night? Did you have any trick-or-treaters going out? I know not you, Amanda, because uh, you don't have kids. Hey, Josh! Yes, it's been a while since you've been here. And I haven't been live since last Friday, I think. Oh, I think so. I think, well, Abby went out, Rowan stayed home, and she handed out chips. Um, she didn't want to go out. She was wanted to do her homework, you know. So I'm like, okay. Yes, no problem, Josh. Life gets in the way. I mean, that's why also I haven't been also live since I think last week, because just life's gotten crazy busy. No, we did it over the weekend here. Really? See, they were talking about changing it to the last Saturday of the month. There were a lot of the um, businesses did, like a couple malls, like not my local mall. This is the first year my local mall didn't do anything for trick or treaters, but the mall, the outside mall, like you have to walk from store to store, did something this weekend with the Kanata North Business Association. They put uh, candies and stuff, and they had like princesses to get your picture with and stuff like that. And a lot of the other malls did something on the weekend, and the mayor had a trick or treating with the mayor on Saturday, so that kids can participate. But usually the other malls have something during the day. A couple of them have had it, like when I was a kid, Bayshore, where I used to live, which is just the next biggest mall near my house here, used to have something also in the evening for trick-or-treaters, so that um, that was also back in the 80s, when the whole scare with razors and all that stuff. You know, come to the mall and trick-or-treat, and the stores put out stuff, and it was good for the trick-or-treaters. But then we still used to go door to door. We go to the mall, trick-or-treat, you get to go there early, and then go to the store, to the houses. Shotman taking care of him. Oh dear. Sorry to hear that, Josh. See, are you in the States, Josh? Because up here in Canada, we've been hearing about so much gun violence in the States. I pray for speedy recovery. Wow. Was he a innocent bystander, or like in the wrong place, the wrong time? See, up here in Canada, like we we have gun laws, and people I actually, a lot of people I know do have guns, mostly for hunting. Um, but there's not there's not much gun violence. The only gun violence that we have here is usually like gang related, and our gangs aren't as bad as some of the ones, well, as the ones in the States. Um, but we've had a few um, shots or gun related instances where I live, but it's like I can count them on my hand. None that have recently killed anybody, thank God, but it's been like stupid. I mean, it's always stupid. I mean, see, I don't. Well, A, I don't believe in like automatic rifles being able to be gunned by anybody. Like, there is no instances what you need a automatic rifle. A shotgun, yes. Handheld gun, yes. But you should have like licensing, and you should be vetted to make sure that like you're capable of using it. Shot in the head and survive. Go home. Wow. Hopefully they have cameras to catch the perpetrator. 9mm, is that like a handgun? I don't know anything about guns, but that's because we don't own one, and we will never own one. How it is with the knee issues. My youngest son's knee accident with a chainsaw. Ouch. How do you have an accident with a chainsaw? Yeah, well, the good thing with casinos is that there's cameras all around it. So hopefully that the security cameras was able to catch the car, because this is since that would drive by, catch the car and the license of whoever it was. That's really scary. Some of the yeah, well, here in Canada, we get a lot of news from the States because, well, apparently our news is not as interesting. So we get all of your, well, not all, because we got a lot of your major um, negative news, like the shootings and the political stuff or the racism stuff that happens down there. Not saying that Canada doesn't have that as well. I mean, we have our fair share. Um, but I think because just our population is less, there's less people to do the bad things. Cutting wood and slip the chainsaw. Ouch. That's awful. A gentleman at my church, he has a hedge business. So he does hedges and stuff like that. But he does woodwork, and he has like a forest that he can cut down his trees, and he has a little portable mill. He is missing a couple of fingers. One was when he was a kid. He was like 4, helping his dad, and he's missing um, his baby finger. No, or this finger. One of these fingers, like down to the knuckle, and then another one he lost, like as part of his thumb on one hand. But that's because there wasn't safety measures then, and then. But he's still working, and then even after that, like, he's had a couple of different injuries. He still keeps on doing what he does, which, you know, is not necessarily, like, it's safe, like, he has the safety measures and stuff like that, but he's still working with saws and all that. He's now older, so he's more managing the business versus, like, hedge trimming. Like, he never hurt himself hedge trimming, but he's hurt himself with the mill thing. So, only thing I've ever hurt myself was right here. I sliced my finger when I was pregnant with Abby. Actually, I had just been pregnant, just gotten, like, found out I was pregnant with her. Rowan was almost a year. No, she had just turned a year, I think. And she was standing on, actually, these chairs right here. See our wooden chair. See our wooden chairs here, and she's standing on them. And I said no, she couldn't stand on it. She fell, so she got her foot, like, caught in the wood things, and she fell, and then she hit her head. No, that was the time. That was the time she fell. And she hit her head, and she got staples. But she was standing on the chair here, and I told her to get down. I was separating frozen burgers and with a knife, because, you know, you always do that. And this one time I looked over to yell at her to get down, and sliced right here. So it was cut into my nerve. Had to go to the hospital, and then that's how everybody, well, not my husband. My husband knew I was pregnant, but my sister-in-law, that's how everybody found out I was pregnant, because they ask you the question, are you pregnant? Right? And I said, yes. And so my sister-in-law didn't catch it the first time, like, at the triage, but the second nurse, she asked the question, and I said yes. And they're like, how long? I'm like, about 2 months, or, I don't even think I was 2 months. And then my sister's like, you're pregnant? So yeah, and then they stitched me up, and then I had to go to a nerve specialist, and then they had to remove the stitches and go in and stitch the nerve together, and then stitch the outside. Because if you cut your finger from the knuckle up, your nerve will reattach normally, but since it cut just past it, they have to reattach it. But see, even right now, this part right here is tingly. It's numb. Like, I can't feel this part, but I can feel down here. So it's kind of, and this is like, well, almost 16 years now. I'm right out of the hospital and picked up the chainsaw and continues to cut. Well, it's you always have to kind of get back on the horse too, right? Personally, if I was, well, I mean, I still separate burgers with knives, but I try and make sure that it's pointing away from me. I mean, I still cut myself sometimes, but it's more of a poke versus, or it's a slice at my finger. Hey, Brian Toscano, good morning. Oh, yeah, don't forget to give a thumbs up. How's it going? Did you have a lot of trick-or-treaters yesterday? Or in some places, I guess in the States, you also did it on Saturday. So did everybody in the States do it on Saturday and not last night? Our mayor, I think it was our mayor, either a mayor or a provincial, was talking about switching it to Saturday, and I'm like, I don't think that's going to work. Saturday would be nice for, like, the parents and stuff like that, but then the kids end up staying out later and causing more trouble sometimes. Like, we had trick-or-treaters normally start here about 6. Like, we didn't have we had our first one just after 6, and they're done by 9, but actually they're usually done by 8. So, like, I took Abby and her friend out, and we were done by just after 8. We came home to be here for 8:30 because her parents were going to pick her up. And on the way home, we didn't see hardly any trick-or-treaters. No, I think just a lot of the businesses that do stuff do it on the weekend. Okay. Well, yeah, the businesses, I agree. So that's the thing. So we ended up not having snow yesterday. Like we had, it did melt. We did have rain all day, like all day yesterday, but it ended about 5:30. So I think that's why we had less trick or treaters out. But then it stopped. Like Google said, it would stop by 5, and it did. It was just, and it wasn't cold. Like it really wasn't cold. Like I carried their jackets in my trolley. Oh, people went out last night. No, in the States it was on Saturday or Sunday, and some do it on Halloween. All depends on where you live in the States. Well, yeah, I think it's a city thing, or that they can agree on moving it. I, as a parent, if my kids were small, I would have probably enjoyed it on the weekend. But then you could probably start a little bit earlier, because there's no point in start like where I live. There's no point in starting before 6, because parents usually aren't even home. Like last night, Jeff tried to get home, but he was so swamped at work, he didn't get home till late, and Rowan was already going to be taking to handing out treats because she didn't want to go out. Um, and we had maybe 20 kids here. Usually, so when we first moved here 15 years ago, we had like 120 kids at least. Because I used to get the boxes of chips and stuff like that, and they're in boxes of either, well, they used to be of boxes of I think 50 or 60. I used to get like three or four. I could get about 180, and we were almost done them. But that was also us eating them too. Went door to door on a Saturday. Well, I think it's a local um, decision. Oh, I think that's construction, because I keep on hearing something that sounds kind of between either construction or thunder. I think it's construction, because it's a boom, like a, um, the jackhammer things. I wish it was all on the same day. Here in the States, by having trick or treat different days, some families make it a whole weekend of going from community to community trick or treat. That's being really greedy. Okay, that was actually asked on my mom's group for my local area community of, oh, where's the best place to go trick or treating? I'm like, just go out of your door and go around the block. I mean, that's what we do. I mean, we used to sometimes go over to my friend's place, like around her place. And last year we did around our block, and we made it all the way to my sister-in-law's place, which is just over down the street. But it's a little bit, like, it's 10 minutes walk from our house, 10-15 minutes walk. Um, and we trick or treat at her place, so that but then by the time we got there, her son, who was 2 at the time, um, didn't see the kids, like he was already in bed um, by 8 by the time we got there. So it's like, this is the problem. Like some communities had like hundreds and hundreds of kids, and other communities, like we had maybe 20. If you all just trick or treat around your neighborhood, I mean, I understand ones that are in the country coming into the city, but just pick a neighborhood because they're all pretty good. Um, Halloween in the is a greed thing in my opinion. Not like when I was a kid. Yeah, my kids. So I bring my trolley, and I put a grocery bag in there because I know that with Abby, well, and even with her friend too, like the bag could get heavy, and I don't want her dragging it on the ground or hurting her arm. So I'll put it in my trolley. I'll carry it. We'll dump it into the bag so it's a lighter bag, because it's also cumbersome. Like because they both had canes. They're both blind. So Abby's completely blind. Her friend's legally blind. So they went door to door, and they uh, having the bag too full, like even half full, uh, gets in the way with the cane and the door, and trying to figure out where the doorbell is and the door handle and all that stuff, so you don't get whacked with the door. A lot of people. Well, yes. So, well, this is the thing. Is also people go to the richer. I remember when I was a kid, we used to try and go to the make our way from our house toward the richer neighborhoods. Here in the States, it's like make a whole weekend of being super greedy. Wow. See, we don't like my kids. We went for 2 hours at 8 o'clock. Normally, I would stop around 8:30, but Abby having low iron and stuff like that, and her friend was going to get picked up at 8:30. I was fine with that. Like she was like, "Oh, we stay later." I'm like, "No, no, you have school tomorrow," Abby has school tomorrow. I've been walking for 2.5 hours. I want to go home. Just up as three blind mice. Well, yes. Well, they got the canes. We did get to meet another neighbor just at the other cul-de-sac just across the street from us, who is also blind, has a cane. He was trick-or-treating with his wife and little, I think, daughter. Um, because he's like, oh, because he kind of sort of bumped into us as like going to the next house, and he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't, I don't see very well, and then I'm like, oh, neither did my daughter. She had like the whole cane. He goes, yeah, I didn't want to bring my cane today, but if you wait here, if you just, I'll go back to the house and get some candies for you, because they were going this way around the cul-de-sac, and we were going this way, and so we just went to the next house over, and by the time we got there, he gave them some extra candy. It was nice. No, I mean, so my kids have, so it, like literally, it might be a grocery bag. Like Rowan didn't go trick or treating, but we have treats like um yeah, because I was gonna say not even a full grocery bag, uh, but three-quarters full. But there's like chocolates and chips. There's enough. There's definitely enough candy in there. Actually, I don't even think Abby ate any last night, because by the time she got home, she got out of her costume. Her friend got picked up, and then she went to bed. She was tired. So, but yeah, we had actually I asked Rowan how many kids we had, and we had 15 or 20. I go, did we have any big kids this time? Because we usually get near the end of the night, we usually get a few of the teenagers and stuff, which I'm fine with. Hey, come to the door. You say trick or treat, you'll get something, even if you don't say trick or treat. Because I know that there's kids out there who are autistic, or whether you have a costume on or not. I mean, hopefully you have costume or put some makeup on or put some sort of effort in. I'm fine with it, because my kids are going out trick or treating, right? And if they want to go trick or treating, I'll take them out trick or treating for as long as she wants to go out. Um, but because I mean, I'd rather her going out trick or treating, which is safe, healthy, fun, than to be involved in other activities. um, but she said, yeah, no, there was maybe a couple of grade seven or eights, because they were not big kids, like they weren't bigger than her, but she's taller than me. But they were a little bit older, but they were in costume and stuff. I'm like, last year we had a couple of big teenagers, like they were like tall as Jeff, and they were like in costume. One guy wasn't, and they said trick or treat, and they were polite and stuff, and I'm perfectly fine with that, you know. But they wanted to have fun too, and there's some kids also that might have a global developmental delay that you might not necessarily notice, that they might have the mentality of a much younger child, um, and really enjoy dressing up. And this is the time of the year you can dress up as anything you want. But work always brings their kids candy, so because they don't want to be eating that much yet. You know, I think I stopped going like my junior year, and I enjoyed being at home. Well, Rowan handed out candy, so she went. She didn't go last year. She didn't want to go last. She went to a friend's place in her onesie coat, like it was sleeve of pajamas, as a Pegasus, but it's her pajamas. She went there and they watched Halloween, well, scary movies, and played Dungeons and Dragons. Um, and then this year she didn't want to do. Well, I don't know if it was organized or she didn't want to do it. I know her, but she has a big project that's due, I think, Monday. So she was going to be working on that while handing out candy. I'm like, are you sure you don't want to go out? Because I go, you could take Abby and her friend out, and I could stay home. And no, she didn't want to. Because well, they might have more fun with you than with me. Dressing up and handing out. Well, the kitties, oh, they're so cute. The ones that I saw, and I'm like, oh my goodness, they're so cute. I'm like, I want to go back in time when my kids were so cute. I could dress them up like, when when my kids were small, at the elementary school, they always had a Halloween dance. Not on Halloween, but the Friday before Halloween. So the kids got to wear costumes, and there was treats. So everybody, like there was treats for sale. But so part of the entrance to the dance was like, I think it was $5, and you got a drink, chips, and some candy, and I think you got a pizza slice. You know, so you got, so you had, it was an entrance, but the money went back to school council, went back to supporting stuff in the school, like field trips and stuff. But kids always love because there was music, and costumes, and they got to see their friends, and it was always fun. So I missed that part. But at those family dance, because family dance, so they'd bring their siblings that either weren't in school yet or at a different school, and I saw these little kids in like pumpkin and skunk costumes. I'm like, oh my goodness! Like when my kids were small, I didn't like when they were one. When Rona was one, I don't know if we went. I don't. We didn't go trick or treating when she was. She was what, Halloween then? She was what, 6 months. We didn't put a costume on. We didn't. We only went trick or treating the following year when I was pregnant and she was over one. One year, my sons climbed up on the roof with fishing poles and candy tied fish and made the kids work for the kids. Oh, that would be so fun. Hey, Brian. Well, you'll see a video hopefully. Uh, the house. There's a house on the second cul-de-sac over. Um, that is always Scary's house. It's Riley's dad. I can't remember his name. My brain went blank. Uh, but he always goes way out for Christmas decorations. He's died it down the last couple of years because I think also because his kids are my kids' age. But he used to like one year like he'd do a theme like Harry Potter, and he did a pirate ship where he had like an actual mast from like a ship built with the basket with a skeleton on top and flags waving, and but he has this guy being electrocuted in the garage. It's a prop, like it's not a real person type thing, but and there's a fog machine, and he has a cauldron with smoke and fire underneath, like fake fire that's lit up, and like graves and stuff like that. But this year, his tree in front that he also uses part of the for the decorations got cut down, because it was dead. So he couldn't have, because he had like this big huge cage in the tree that had skeletons and stuff in it one year. But I took some videos of some of the decorations that I saw around the area last night. I'll be a bit dark because it was dark, but I'll eventually get that up and running, just like everything else. Life has been quite busy, with Abby's low iron and low hemoglobin, and um, just getting her to and from school, and getting stuff for her done, and then it's just stuff around the house. It's just been crazy. And I stopped trick or treating when I graduated middle school. Yeah, so um, Abby's in grade 11, so, and Rowan's in grade 12. So I had no problem. So this, but Abby's a December baby. So I mean, she's 15. So, and it took. Let me see, how many houses did we actually go to? I think we maybe went to 100 houses. Like we went from our house and the two cul-de-sacs, and then just the road over here, and it took us 2 hours, which I was quite impressed that we got to my friend's place, which is at the end of that second street. We've only made it that far like 2 years. Usually, because she's so slow going up and down the stairs and stuff, and she usually chats with the homeowners, especially if they have cats or dogs, and then she usually pets them. So it's a whole long affair. Like by the time like Rowan used to not, like the last couple of years we went trick or treating, she would go with her friends because we were so slow. She was 89. Um, yeah, I was gonna say, when did I went trick or treating? I think until grade 11 too. 13 years when I stopped trick or treating when I took my brother out trick or treating. Yes, but if you took out your siblings, you could also go out trick or treating too. That was the thing. I didn't have siblings, so I went, I think, till grade 10 or 11. Yes, well that's why I was saying in the early age, because how old are you, Brian? What year were you born? Hey, Tom Tom. Because I remember so in the 80s, a lot of the schools tried to do trick or treating and Halloween dances on Halloween, and the malls did it, and yeah, 42. So I'm a year older. So because I was gonna say, A2, A3, A4, there was a lot of those alternative trick or treating things because of all of the things that happened in the states, with people putting razors or poison in apples. I mean, that's why, like, I look through their candies. Anything homemade, I don't like. I throw it out. Anything. Unfortunately, like when I was a kid, there was a house near where I lived, a Lildy. Now, so my mom knew her, um, but she would make caramel popcorn or caramel apples, and so we would keep that one. But we told her, like, if you keep on making this stuff, because people are throwing it out because they don't know where it's come from. But she would put her name and address on the package, so hopefully people would know it's from, like, that was safe. But even then, like, I know people just like anything that could be tampered with or looks like it's tampered with, like, and it doesn't even need to be tampered with. Like, you get a bag and of candy, and one of them, the seal is not that great. Doesn't mean it's tampered with, but you don't take chances. But I remember there was a lot of like alternative Halloween things and scare tactics of not having your kids go trick or treat. Plus, there was a whole bunch of things of bad things happening, of like people kidnapping kids. But that was also a time where you were 6 years old. You were sent out to go trick or treating on your own. Like your parents did not go with you. Like I'm still going with my kids. Almost all the kids that I saw had parents with them, or there was groups of kids that had older siblings. So there was always groups. There was no single kids going trick or treating. So, but I think that's how it is right now. I've heard in some communities, especially like also in the country and stuff, they to prevent kids from the country traveling way into like the city. Like here, like we live where I live, about 5 minutes away. You're in like fields, so a lot of kids get driven into different areas and go trick or treating, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. But what's happening in some of these places where, like by their local high school or local school, they'll have a trunk um, trick or treating thing. So on Halloween, they'll have it set up as like a everybody brings their trick or treat candy here, and all the kids can go trick or treating around the parking lot. Versus because their houses are so far apart, right? I can see that as being um, a viable um, option for people. Right next to Apple Orchard, and they would bring a large full of apple plus kit, handed out candy apples to my mom. Oh yeah, so this is the thing. I loved those. Like, I mean, if like when I was a kid, I thought like I would love to make candy apples, cotton candy and stuff. Not cotton candy, caramel popcorn for the kids trick. But no, because I know parents are gonna throw it out. Um, maybe next year, maybe next year I might suggest to the girls that maybe we could plan it maybe in September or whatever, and plan a Halloween party at home or something like that, and then I can make like Halloween treats. I don't try and make that stuff for them before they go out trick or treating, because I mean, just getting food in their stomachs before they go trick or treating is an ordeal, because they have to eat at 5. My family usually doesn't eat till 6:37, so I would always take the yes, apple jam. what I've never made apple jam. I made apple butter and apple sauce. But I've never made apple jam. How do you make apple jam? Back in the 80s, in elementary school, it was commonplace to bring homemade cupcakes like that to the school and share. I did that too with my kids in school. But certain kids now there's like allergies. So with my kids' birthdays, I always brought stuff for them to share with their classmates. But a lot of times the parties, and school didn't do parties. But now they're in high school. Um, I don't do that. And for their birthdays, we usually tell them that they can pick some place to eat for their birthday, that they go with the family, and then if they want a birthday party, to do something for that. Hello, Abby. You're up. No, you're. I know you're not dead. What do you want? What would you like to eat? I know food. What would you like to eat? Lamb curry. Yes. Okay. You can come with me. Jam tastes like apple pie. Oh, yum. Check and see if I have a video up. Oh, yes, I would love to know about apple pie. Good morning, BJ Hunting. Yeah, so Abby's home today. She made it to school 3 days. Yay. What? I know, and she tried so hard to get there today, but that didn't happen. Yes, it's the whole low iron. I'm gonna drop you.
Princess catch it?
No, I got. Okay, hold on to. Okay, just gonna put you here for a second, trying to find a flat surface. Gotta turn on this light without you falling. Okay, just putting you there so I can get Abby her food. She's hungry. She's not been sleeping. So I'm gonna get her butter. I'm gonna get her some leftover rice and lamb curry for breakfast, lunch, brunch. So just have to empty the dishwasher because we're down to plastic forks and knives. The dishwasher got run last night, but have not emptied it. So we got on the spoon. There's still another serving of curry lamb. Put this in the microwave. I'll be right back. Oh, where's that? Yeah, man, you were born in the 80s. Before all the scary stuff happened with crazy people putting razors in apples and and poisoning. Some people putting rat poison in candies and stuff like that.
Still happens a little.
Well, it still does, or there's, but it happened in the 80s, and ever since then, it's been people don't allow homemade stuff unless you know the person and you know that's homemade. But even then, and which is a shame because the homemade stuff is usually better than the crap for trick or treaters. Here, I'll show you what Abby got. I'll combine the two bags into one. I still have to get my parent tax from her. But she got a good fair amount of treats. Just a second. What? Just a second. See? She got some chips and bags with multiple candies. Pringles. She did get one full-size bar. I'm not going to take it. Just, I'm going to show here. Oh, she's going to like that. She loves coffee crisp. But I'll probably get her caramels because she doesn't like caramel. She got lots of M&Ms. But not as much as they normally give out. But usually there's more chips and chocolate. But not a bad haul. So, which is about half of a grocery bag, 3/4 of meth was just found. Really? Meth? Ouch. So we had one of the moms in my neighborhood, um, they took their kids to one of the houses that had students, like university students, who didn't realize it was Halloween. And they did hand out food. One handed out a whole jar, unopened jar of Nutella, and two big bags of chips because she had three kids, so each kid got like a bag of Doritos or Lay's, and one got Nutella. Wow, that's awful.
What?
Yes, the blue box. Oh yes, that's the thing of candy. Canada, our Smarties are chocolate. Um, we have rockets. Here, I'll show you. See, rockets are your Smarties, and our Smarties are chocolate. And they're peanut free. Well, M&Ms aren't peanut free. And these are definitely not peanut free. So other candies. Do you guys get Airheads? And Smarties actually taste better, usually, than M&Ms. Pringles. Jolly Rancher. Do you guys have Crunchies? This is sponge toffee dipped in caramel. Like, you know the toffee you can get is covered in caramel. And, oh, that's another Canadian thing. Old Dutch. These are regular chips, but this brand is really good. Canadian. I'm not taking your chips. Made in Calgary, Alberta, Heartland, New Brunswick, or Winnipeg, Manitoba. You haven't seen Crunchies? They're, well, you know the toffee or coffee crisp? Coffee crisp is like coffee flavored wafer um, cookie covered in chocolate. Skittles, bags of multiple. Oh, there's some the fruit candies. Oh, Tootsie Rolls. I don't see any Halloween Kids candies in here. Oh, she's not going to want that. That's a Macintosh top. She doesn't like caramel, so I usually get those. Oh, Welch's fruit snacks. These ones are healthy, made with real fruit. Tootsie Rolls are good. Kiss candies. Most people don't like Kiss candies. Oh, Double Bubba. I don't see a single Kiss candy in here. Twix, Mars bars, Twizzlers. Oh, Henry. Coffee Crisp. So are they Canadian? They're from Nestle. They're peanut free. Yeah, Nestle Canada, North York, Ontario. Body Parts gummies. Snickers. Oh, and Crunch bar. So that has like Rice Krispie and chocolate. I don't. I think do you guys get Halloween Kisses in the States? Because Halloween Kisses are Canadian. They're actually, and they only make them. Oh, okay. Chocolate covered mini granola bar. So somebody got all healthy. Arrow. So I used to take the healthy stuff and put them in the kids' lunches. Kit Kats. I don't see. My father-in-law. Oh, there's some Tutti Frutti chews. Loves Kiss candy, so he usually buys a bag. They're a molasses candy. Called Halloween Kisses, but they're just like chunks of molasses toffee. I don't see them. Maybe they might be some in the little bags. Canadians would be hard pressed to move to the U.S. We don't have a Tim Hortons or half the candy they do. Yes, but you guys have more candy options. You have a lot more candy options. Because when I've gone to the States, I'm like, ooh, yum. We just have different candy. Because I guess it goes by what you like. You know, you guys have way more chip options, way more candy options, way more pumpkin spice options, way more holiday options. So each, like, you have Pip Squeaks, the Pip thing, marshmallow things that are for each season, and even just marshmallows. When I've gone to the States, I've gotten at Christmas time gingerbread flavored marshmallows, and at Halloween time pumpkin flavored marshmallows. Here in Canada, we don't get that at all. Like, I think only last year or the year before, I think we got like mint flavored ones. Hey, Puppy's Breath, long time no see. Oh, Abby says hi, Amanda, and Puppy's Breath. She's home. I've just heated up some um, lamb curry for breakfast because that's how we roll here. Brunch, well, still brunch, breakfast. Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because their lunch at school is at 10:55. 10:45. I thought it was 10:55. So it's her lunch because they get out of school at 2. So love food. Yeah. Amanda says hi, Abby. I don't know. We have multiple flavors of. Well, so I've gone. So we've gone to Ogdensburg, which is like an hour and a half away, and at the Dollar Tree and Walmart, and also Price Choppers, they had different flavored marshmallows in the baking section and shaped. So they were in the shape. I still have some. They're like years old of gingerbread because I've kept them. They make really good. Even though they're dried now, they're hard. They make really good hot chocolate marshmallows because the hot chocolate melts them. Puppy's Breast said hi, Abby. Yeah, Abby made it to school 3 days this week so far. Yay! Last week she made it one full day, 2 days. that I had to pick her up early, and 2 days she didn't make it. So it's an improvement, but I think she pushed herself too hard because she did go trick-or-treating last night. This low hemoglobin, low iron, and this insomnia, and whatever else, she's fighting or whatever, is a pain in the neck. Yes, I'm not saying it's bad, necessarily bad for me. I'm saying for her, because if it's bad for me, it's bad for her. I'm like, yes. Just heated up my coffee. Well, not heated up, but poured more. Uh, and we got out of school at 2 p.m. So yeah, but the only problem is school starts at 8. Okay, so when you're dealing with insomnia and you haven't fallen asleep till 5, something, if you're lucky, getting up at 6, 6:30, 7 is near impossible. Um, so now schools. Well, most of the schools in the area get done at 3:15, 3:30. The high schools end earlier, so all the high schools in the area end early because they try to use the same school buses. So our school here is 2:10. All Saints High School is like 2:30. AY and Earl are at like 2:45 because the other schools, some schools end at 4. So they try and use the same buses for the two different schools. So school at 2:13 in high school, loved it. Tell Abby no candy, then no sugar to keep her up. Well, that's the thing. She didn't have any of her treats last night. We trick or treated. I brought them home, and then she got changed. She went to bed, so she didn't even eat. So she wasn't up eating chocolate. Like we got home at 8:30. She went to bed. Send it to me. Well, no, she needs the sugar now to be awake now, so she can do the homework and study for one test that she has tomorrow. So it's uh, the trying to go to sleep. Like she could be lying in bed trying to go to sleep, but if her body's just not going to sleep, um, we can't. My thingy just turned on. My computer. Hey, don't forget to give a thumbs up. So Puppy's Breath, how's it been going? Long time no see. Was last year public school? Grade 12. It used to be grade 13, or as they used to call it, OAC in Ontario, Ontario Academic Credit or whatever. So it's grade 12. And then, unless you're in Quebec or you're in the French school, so then there's Cégep, which is grade 11. And then they have a 2-year program of Cégep, which is like a first year college or university. And then you can get into college, university. And usually you can skip um, the first year of whatever program you are. My kids go to school grade 12. They have to get 30 credits to get their diploma, but they can be in school if they wanted to. Legally in school, they can be in school until they're 21. So kids that have a global developmental delay and they're in school, they can stay in school until they're 21. Most kids want to get out of school as quickly as possible, but a lot of kids, since they took away grade 13, a lot of kids are doing an extra year of leap year, so they're like cutting down their courses so they have some spares, or taking extra courses like co-op and stuff like that before they go off to college, university, because sometimes they're just too young to kind of figure out what they want. I don't know why they got rid of grade 13, honestly. The year I was in high school, they still had OAC for I think two more years afterwards. I can't remember, but I only took grade 12. So you could take grade 12 to go to college, but if you wanted to go to university, you had to take OAC, which was grade 13. Um, if you were not planning on going to university, uh, you didn't have to take it. So I didn't take it because I didn't want to waste another year in school. I wanted to go to college. busy work and out of town company. New mom didn't. I'm shopping around for a new computer. Um, I don't know if you have it in the States. My husband likes to look online at Tiger Direct. They have good prices for computer stuff. Um, and he's sometimes have ordered, and they also have refurbished computers, like laptops and stuff, like much cheaper, and they still come with a year guarantee or whatever. Um, that's actually, I think, where he got mine from. Yes, so college universities here are different. So colleges here are um, 2 or 3 year programs. Some have a 1 year, like a whole year from like January to December type program. So that's it does through the summer. So it's a condensed program, but it's for things like a technologist versus no technician versus a technologist. So a technician, you could go to college. For a technologist, you'd go to university. Um, so uh, colleges tend to have more trades, more careers. Like for example, I just filled out things for Rowan. She wants to go to college. She wants to be an EA in the school system. So to being an EA, an educational assistant, you have to have a college degree in one of the sectors of either developmental service worker, so that's a diploma of working with kids and adults with developmental and physical disabilities, which I have, or ECE, which is early childhood education, so that's working with young kids, or youth and child worker, and or you could have a different um, college diploma, college university diploma or degree, but you have to take some other courses. Um, we need a computer, Jen, not a tiger. Well, I know it's a company called Tiger Direct or New Egg. I think there's 2 or 3 G's. My husband likes both of those for computer stuff, but I don't know if that's Canadian or if it's anywhere and they ship to Canada. My computer eats and poops as much as the Tiger. Plus Windows 10, it's a lot. So I have Windows 10, but we have a thing, an app or a program on the computer that it's on the start menu is back. So my Windows 10 looks like um, Windows what 7 was. So here I'll show you. Like my computer has Windows 10, but I don't like Windows 10, so I like the desktop how it was. So start menu, it's called start menu is back. Because look, the start menu, and it looks just like, just now, no, I don't want to put malware. See, I have to go, just restarting my computer. So my start menu, if it will, it's just being really slow. See my start menu? Yeah. Oh, is my thing going to redo? No, I don't. I'm trying to see, it looks like I like this look. So you can get this app. It works with Windows 10 to make your Windows 10 not look like Windows 10 because I don't like it. It's too busy, too, I don't know. I barely know regular. Just getting this to sell. No, cancel. So college is like, yes, like community college. So for example, college the costs about 3 to 5 grand for tuition for a year. University costs at least 2 to 3 times that, depending on the university, and that doesn't include residence or um, your fee, like your other fees. So university is like a 3 or 4 year degree, at least a 3 year degree. But yeah, so like your bachelor's of arts, like it's the same. Like so, our universities is like your universities. I for degrees, like a 3 or 4 year program. So our bachelor's of arts is the same as your bachelor's of arts. Like it's comparable. So that's why, like, our doctors, when they go through medical school, like, they have to go to university for one, and then they get in the field, and then they have to go through medical stuff. Like, it's like 7 years of school, and then there's still like 2 years in residency. Like, it's a 10-year program. Same with lawyers too. You could do going to law school straight from high school to go to law school, but it's usually recommended that you go to college and get um, a diploma in law or whatever first, and then you can usually skip first year. Like, first year in university, depending on what the program is, 90% of it is the same from program to program. Like, there's always like Psych 101, English 101, Math 1, like, all those like stuff. Like, so, and then they'll have like two or three electives that are specifically for that program. So usually if you go to college for 2 years, which is usually more hands-on, more a little bit slower pace, like more um, teacher student interaction, so you get to understand it more. Then you go to university is better than going straight to university, because university you're in, a theater of like 200 students. You have a prof at the front. He's writing on the board. He has no idea any of the people's names unless they're being bad in the class. And he doesn't give a rat's ass if you're sick or late. Like, if you're late, you should not even show up. Don't even disrupt the prof. If you're sick, if you have like a family at home or anything like that, they, the only thing that they care about is if somebody dies, they'll give you some kind of bereavement type thing. But they don't care that you're overly stressed or whatever. College, you have a little bit more of leeway, um, unless you have to, like, you have to deal with like student services and all this stuff. But anyways, yeah. But see, colleges, most things with college is diploma, and with university you get a degree. So you can go to college for RN as well as university. But with university, there's also a more, depending on which program you take, you can get the other R, so registered nurse, and then there's RPN, registered practical nurse. One of them is higher than the other, because some places here in Canada, I don't know about in the States, but in doctors' offices, sometimes some nurses can also be able to prescribe, be like a doctor to you. There's this type of nurse, but it's, so they're like, a clinic would have like one or two doctors, and then they'll have like five of these specialized nurses that can assess your thing, and only a doctor would necessarily have to see you if it's quite severe. It has been on its last, like, yeah, I hear ya. Computer problem, and computers just get so outdated so fast, it's crazy. You have both Tiger Rick and Newegg, okay? Because let's say those are two that my husband gets, and that orders from up here in Canada, because I think that they have a Canadian site, or transfer it to Canadian dollars, and there's like free shipping available. Some great apps out there to help with Windows 10. Windows 10 is the first version of Windows you didn't mind using. See, people either love it or hate it. Like, that's like things. People either like long hair or short hair. People like curly hair or straight hair. There's not usually any middle ground. Everybody loves their hair. Everybody put his foot down and told me, "You are getting a new one." He sees have. Yes, I hear you. Practical. Yeah, so practical nurse is like a doctor. Okay, because I was gonna say there's RPN and RN, and I couldn't remember which one is which. But I know here in Canada we have some that you can get a RPN to be um, handing out medicine and like prescriptions and stuff, and assess you. But then the clinic has to have a doctor in there, because that's the thing. We do have a doctor shortage. Some of our doctors do go to the States because there's more enticement of your specialties, of, especially, so the doctors here that want to be in specialties, like, they can make great money here, But in the States, they're like the hospitals and those clinics, they entice them with much bigger paychecks, more lucrative deals. Um, but a lot of times the doctors will go down to the States for these lucrative deals, but then they don't, then they see sometimes how your healthcare works and how some stay, some come back to Canada because they're like, it doesn't quite fit with their philosophy, especially with doctors, because they tend to be like, do no harm type thing. But here in Canada, like we do have like free healthcare. Well, everybody has access to it. Like I can go to any clinic and I can walk in. I might have a long wait because it could be busy, but we don't have as many doctors, especially in the smaller communities. Um, Even like here in bigger communities, I just got a doctor last year. Like I've been just going to the clinic before. I never had my own doctor, because all the doctors at the clinic were like you were seen by the clinic, not by an individual doctor, and there were shortages of doctors taking new patients. So, and as I get older, I need to have kind of a doctor that will keep my files, so I don't have to keep on telling them all the crap all every time. And like, I mean, I won't remember all the stuff that I've gone through or whatever. So ethics get in the way when practicing in the U.S. Well, yeah. So that's the thing is like a lot of doctors will go to the States and like they'll even do a thing in the States, but then they'll see like it's great. Well, so this is the thing is that they see like the money and they'll see how things work. But a lot of times, like from what I've seen, I mean, I have never been to the States. I've never had to access your healthcare, and I'm glad I haven't because I don't know if I would not go probably not go so well.
Again, knock on wood.
Knock on wood. Yes, I will knock on wood. Traveling to the U.S. get travelers insurance for healthcare. Yes, well, I do. Wherever we go, we get travelers insurance just in case we do get injured or sick. But also with my husband's healthcare that we have extra, we wherever we go, we can get access to healthcare no matter what country. Yes, your food's right here.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the good thing. But yeah, we definitely get travel insurance. But see, what I've seen in your news, or what some people have, that's my coffee. Please don't put your
Where's the
hands.
nan?
Oh, I forgot to grate you now. I will be right back. I forgot to get her done.
I don't mind eating it cold.
What?
I don't mind eating it cold.
That's good because I was gonna heat it up.
I was just letting you know so that I would try and save you the trouble.
She had to get some nan for her curry.
Are they looking at me?
So, no,
Okay, good.
they're looking at me. She has a bit of bedhead, so she doesn't want to necessarily be on camera. Um, so yeah, so like sometimes what I've seen from your politicians saying like saying the downside to Canadian healthcare, I'm like no, like they're wrong. Like people in Canada are not flocking to the States. Sometimes there are some services or procedures that we don't do up here because we don't have the specialists to do them, like certain types of surgeries or whatever. So people do apply through healthcare to go down to the States to get it done. And people who have money, they might even go privately and get done and then submit through their insurance. Um, but people aren't flocking to the States. Like we have like some of the top neurosurgical doctors and heart specialists and lung specialists we have here in Canada. Now, but the way that we have them here, like for example in Ontario, um, one of the largest provinces, Quebec is I think the largest, and Ontario. No, I think Ontario is larger than Quebec. I don't know.
It is.
Is okay because I'm like largest province. So if you have lung or liver issues, all the, not all, but some of the major, the highest doctors in the field are in London, Ontario, at the hospital there near the university. If you have heart issues, some of the top heart specialists are here in Ottawa or in Toronto. In Toronto, they have some of the top Toronto and Ottawa, some of the top eye specialists. Okay, depending on the condition and stuff like that. So, if you need some sort of transplant,
Wait, Mom.
what?
I specialize in healthcare.
Yes.
Heart is more here. Well, eyes are more Toronto.
Yes, but I'm just saying Toronto. Toronto is the city that does have a lot of the other specialists too, because you can't have them all at one hospital. But Toronto's so huge; they have multiple different hospitals for different specialties. And Toronto being how it is, they think that they're like the center of the universe. It's they think they're the capital of Canada when Ottawa is, but that's just my little jib, I think is the right word.
Jab.
Jab at them.
It's a jab, not a jib.
But the way that our healthcare works, you go to the hospital, you go to emergency, you get seen. You know, even if you don't have a health card, you might have. So if you don't have your health card with you, say if you're from a different province or from a different country, you might have to pay up front. There's a fee or whatever, or and then you can get reimbursed from your
Actually, you pay afterwards.
pay afterwards. Yeah, you pay after whatever you pay the treatment or you get a bill or something like that.
Yeah.
So for people from Quebec tend to, like, for example, we're 20 minutes from Quebec border, right? So some people from Quebec, if they come over here and they go to the hospital here, they can use our emergency and stuff and go to the hospital here. They have to show their Quebec healthcare because it's healthcare here is provincial, but it's also nationwide. So you're covered in your own province, and you go to another province, you are covered, but you might have to either pay or you'll get a bill to pay within so many days. Sent to you.
They don't make you
and
pay.
then you submit that to your insurance, and your insurance pays it.
Mom, they don't make you pay up front. They make sure that you're
some you do. Like if you go to the clinic, if you don't have an Ontario health card, you have to pay the doctor fee of, I think it was like $40. Because there was been one time that I couldn't find Abby's card when she was little, and we lost it, and a new card hadn't come in. I had to pay at the time. I think it was $35 or $40. I took that amount. They said, well, once your card comes in, you just send that to OHIP, and they reimburse me back. So
I mean, if somebody was ran to the emergency room because they were bleeding to death, they treat them before making you pay.
Well, yeah, no, they treat you first. They don't give you the bill first. But yeah, I must go. Well, you have a wonderful day, teasers, pleasers. And yes, I enjoyed the coffee chat with you too. And said if you have a video of your apple jam or the recipe, put it underneath this video, a link to it. You can say, "Hey Jen, here's the apple jam," and I'll know what it is.
So did Teasers Pleasers make jam?
Yes, so she makes apple jam, which kind of tastes like apple pie.
I was just thinking she made it, or
yes, no, she's made it. No, she's. We were just talking about how she used to make it, and that. So. Hey Amanda, you're back. Did you make it into work yet? She's an hour earlier. I had to help someone at work. Yeah. Gosh darn, you had to actually earn your salary.
What city is she in?
She's in Kansas, but works in starts with M.
Minnesota?
No.
Missouri?
Missouri. Thank you. Brain just went. So they hear, yeah, ding, ding, ding. And then it goes, ding, ding, ding. Good job, Abby. Because I'm like, M.
Okay, so there's more than one state with that time zone.
Well, there's, yeah, well, there's more, there's many states with that time zone.
Because I have a lot of guildmates who were 1 hour before me.
Mm-hmm. See, here in Canada, our provinces are big. And, there's very few, like we have very few that have multiple provinces in the same time zone because our province, like, you know, like the Maritimes, they're all in the one time zone except for Newfoundland, which has its own unique half an hour time zone, which I think is the only. No, I think there's one other island that has its own time zone.
We are in sync with what's it called?
We're in sync with Florida. We're in sync with about 20 different states. I don't know.
And
Hey,
Quebec.
puppy's breath. Well, yeah, we're in sync with Quebec, but part of Quebec is also a maritime time zone.
Mm-hmm.
But we're in sync, and then Manitoba, Alberta, Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan has its own. Manitoba and Alberta, I think, are in one. And then BC has its own. Because that's mountain time. Mountain time is the same as California. I'm awful with time, though. But in the States, there's like, well, how many states do you got? 50? Plus 2 territories? Because you have, because there's what? Um, Puerto Rico and, how many states you got? 50? 52? 50 or 52? Because Puerto Rico's one of your, not states, but territories, or um, 50. See, I was right, it was 50. But you have two, do you have 2 territories or something? Like there's Puerto Rico, and there's another one. Brain just went. DC and Puerto Rico. Yeah, DC. What's DC? No, not Dominican Republic, because that's its own
country.
Country, yeah. DC. What's DC? Because I was gonna say there's Puerto Rico and there was another.
And Dominican Republic is DR.
Yes, I know. I have to Google now because it's just gonna stick in my head.
What are the separate plans?
I don't know. Pork cottage roll, I think.
Because I'm like, I think I like that. Yes, I do.
Yes, everybody likes that. Hey, Steve. How's it going? Long time no see. My posse's here. Steve, Amanda, and Tom Tom's here, and Puppy's Breath. You guys always pop in.
I think they're back because I'm back.
They're back because you're back. Yeah, because I knew you were here.
Is there more Nan?
Yes.
Can I have more Nan?
Yes.
Please.
Not much shaken. Uh, I actually made myself an omelette this morning. Coffee because I had one of your caramel chocolates because I know you don't like caramel. And then I had a couple of little chips. We bought the Doritos chips, not your chips, my chips, because we only got like maybe 20 trick or treaters here.
Say that 3 times fast.
I know that's what I was like, but I don't think they counted very well. No, my box says 45 chips. We had about 20 trick or treaters. When I counted last night, we had 33 bags left. I gave Abby's friend two when she left. Daddy had one at least. Rowan had one, and I had one, and there were still 33. And I'm like, "Are you sure?" Like, there was only 12 kids here, and she's like, "No, there was more than that. Like, not even 12, because there was like what, six? Only 6 kids here." And she's like, "No, we had like 20." So apparently, counting at the factory that makes the chips is not a requirement. So it should say like at least 55, not 55, at least 45.
Hey, you paid less for extra chips.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
Just be glad we got things we like.
Yes. Well, that's why we buy stuff we like. I used to, when my kids were small, I used to go buy like the cheapy stuff, but then we got stuck with the cheapy stuff. I had to put them in bags because, hubby didn't want to grab a handful or whatever. And it's like we got stuck with the crap stuff. And I'm like, no, we get anything. Hey, Josh. Oh, no problem.
Hmm?
Josh said, sorry, my brother got up, so he just came back. Don't forget to give a thumbs up. You didn't get any ankle biters.
What are those?
Kids, ankle biters. Because they're so small, they bite your ankles. Hey, Brian. How's it going? Yeah, everybody's saying hi to everybody. Oh, so Washington D.C. is its own, because I knew D.C. was like Washington D.C. And the intention of founding fathers of the United States should be a neutral site, not giving favor to existing states. As a result, the District of Columbia was created in 1800. Okay, it is not a state. Ah, see, I thought it was just a state. I learn something every day. Sometimes it's the same things that I learned before, but I forgot. But every day I find something new.
Oh, my brain went somewhere else.
Hello, Stinkbait. How's it going? Oh, somebody called me. Oh, okay. I'll call them back.
Did you tell the school I'm not here?
Yes, I did tell the school you're not here, and I messaged your vision itinerant teacher to let you know, to let them know, not to expect you showing up late. But I do expect you, after you're done eating here, to go and start studying for your biology. You're 45 subs away from 1,000? That is cool.
Who?
Steve.
Have you seen Jacob around here lately?
Um, yes and no. He's popped in. He's been busy with school because Jacob started college. He was taking some sort of program. Okay, you've been campaigning to get to 1,000. But Steve, you actually have to have put some more videos on because you only have 2. Well, so I've been missing streams. How have you been? Oh, you've been campaigning in other people's live streams, or how are you been campaigning? I keep on being stuck at around 1,083 to 1,097 subscribers. I can't get over the 1,100 mark to save my life. It's like, where's my channel? Let's see how many is actually there today. Like, I get some, I lose some. Yeah, I'm at 1,086. It's going here, there, everywhere.
Be glad you hit 1,000.
Mm-hmm. Well, yes, because now I can monetize my videos, but oh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me.
I haven't even hit 50.
Well, you haven't also uploaded anything in months, Abby. You actually have to upload something.
Because I've been dealing with crap.
Yes. I could do a video of you dealing with crap. Life sucks when you have insomnia. I'm sure that would get views.
Did you kick Sushi off the couch this morning?
Yes, I did, because she was in my spot. I wanted to use my back massaging thingy, and I told her she could move over to the side, but she didn't want to sit over the side. She wanted to sit where I was sitting. My thing only reaches to that part of the couch, and I'm like, no. And she went fine, and she ran off. You have 7 thumbs up? Woohoo! 7 thumbs up. Awesome.
Why not let her on your lap?
Well, I had to sit down first. I would let her on my lap. Been thinking of doing a live. Well, let me know when you're gonna be live, and I will pop in. You can schedule that. If you put something like if you're really close to it, once you've hit 1,000, you could schedule it and say a certain time, and then you just have to remember to show up. Because I've scheduled stuff, and I'm like, oh, I have to change it because I didn't quite show up for. And when you schedule it, you have to remember it's not your time zone. Because I've done it from my time zone, but it's like 3 hours off or whatever, and I'm like, what? So I had to go and try and change it to whatever the time zone it is to set up to the time that I've set up. So usually I just don't even schedule it.
What time zone?
I don't know, whatever, it's about 3 or 4 hours off. Be like normal people ring the bell. Oh, I do. I ring the bell.
What bell? Huh?
When you subscribe to somebody, you hit the bell for notifications. Yes, but sometimes you get notifications that you're on, but I'm not necessarily on my phone. So I'll get notifications that you were live, but I was not on my phone too. If I knew you were going to be live, say, at Friday at 7 p.m., I would try and make sure that I was on, at least for part of it, at Friday at 7 p.m.
Mom?
But that's the thing with my live streams. I have a hard time figuring out.
Can you send a message to all your subscribers?
I think so.
Because if so, then you can
I don't know. I could send them. There's a way. I haven't figured it out. I've seen other people's channels do. They put like a notice.
Yeah, I've seen it, but I don't know how.
Yes, I've seen it. I don't know how. YouTube notifications are screwed
But
up. Yes.
Mom,
Yes.
if you could do that, you could do what my guild mates do to schedule a dungeon because we all have different time zones. Like you could say live stream at 22, and that means that at the 22 of the hour you're gonna be on live.
Okay.
Because we do dungeon at 22, so that
Dungeon. Okay.
because or else we'd never be able to coordinate with each other because we all have different time zones.
Yes.
Because if we say dungeon at 10:47 p.m.
Well, just make sure you don't have anybody from Newfoundland because their 22 would be.
I know we have one from India.
57.
We have one from India who's also in a half an hour off section. So then
so it's
then,
like what, a 7. So because you had 30, 22 or 57.
Mom. Yeah. So for her she's half an hour off as well because she's in India. So then I would privately text her dungeon in 5 minutes.
Okay. YouTube Messenger invite. Oh, what's that? Do. New invitation. Accepts your friend request. Ah, yes.
Who?
Start sharing with Steve. Okay. So what do you share? How do you do that?
I know how to invite to contact people and share over YouTube.
Okay. I see. How did you find that?
I can show you on my phone if you want.
Okay. 'Cause I'm not techie savvy. That is why I have my husband. My husband's techie savvy. He's all techie, but he's not YouTube savvy.
I am.
So
I am to some extent.
So my watch time has gone up. My average watch time has gone up to average of 5 minutes. The past. So things have gone up, just not my subscribers.
Mom.
Yep.
Keep in mind,
If I change the thingy.
I'm the kid I'm the what does this button do kid. So that's how I've figured most things out on YouTube.
Okay, let's go real time.
I don't know what does this button do kid.
Yes, because I am not.
It's a click. Ooh, look, I found something.
What's interesting is my demographic of people who watch me. I have more guys than women watching me. So it's I have like 60% guys and 40% women.
That's okay.
So, which I find is kind of odd or interesting. And my demographic is like my age, like 30 and up. So, and then I have a small demographic of young people, like teenagers, like Alex and Puddle Quack Quack Duck. What's her name? And Jolan. Hey woman, it's easy. You message me. See, I have Messenger on Facebook and I have Hangouts. I have to figure out how to try and do a Hangouts live stream. It seems to me that it will rain soon. Yes, well, where I live, Google says it's going to rain at 3. I'm just glad that the rain stopped while the trick-or-treaters were going to be out last night, so that people weren't going to be completely wet. See where there's a box of 9 dots, and then the circle with the arrow. No. Here we have some record-breaking rain this year. We've had some decent rain. But we needed it because we didn't have much. We didn't have as much snow last year as we normally do, so we needed the rain for our ground. But last summer we had record breaking rain. This one not so much. Circle. Okay, 9 dots. YouTube apps. Okay, yep. YouTube TV, YouTube Gaming, YouTube Music, YouTube Kids Creator Academy, YouTube for Artists. What? I don't know what those are. And then there's Share. New student, and I study in New York. Very cool. What do you study? Okay, so that the Share button, like arrow. Yeah, where are you from? In Russia. We usually don't have rain, mostly drought in New Mexico. Well, Russia's colder than Canada in the winter. In the wintertime, Russia has the coldest capital. Last year, though, we during New Year's Eve, a couple times during New Year's Eve in early January, we had the coldest capital. We beat out Moscow because it was minus 40 degrees Celsius.
At least.
Well, yeah, that was without the wind chill. It was like, or with the wind chill it was minus 39. Without with it, or without the wind chill it was minus 39. It was like minus 40 something. I'm like, ah. So. And then in the summertime, we've gotten up to plus 40 Celsius. So we go from one extreme to the other. What was funny was Canada Day, it was plus 40. And it was like 6 months from New Year's Eve to Canada Day. Yes.
The hottest it's gotten here was once it was plus 47.
Yes, the highest it was. Well, I don't know forever, but highest that we kind of remember is 47 degrees Celsius. Hey Google.
It was terrible.
What is 47 degrees Celsius in Fahrenheit?
47 degrees Celsius equal 116.6 degrees Fahrenheit.
It's that I've seen it. That's very unusual. Our average is about 30 to 35. So which college or university are you going to in New York? Well, here we get about 25 degrees as low and high of 75. Yeah, hey Google, what is minus 40 degrees Celsius?
Minus 40 degrees Celsius equal minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, which also equals minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. That also is unusual. We usually our cold is about minus 30. Hey Google, what is minus 30 degrees Celsius?
Minus 3 degrees Celsius equal 26.6 degrees Fahrenheit.
So minus 26 Fahrenheit is roughly our usual really, really cold day. Like, for example, here in Canada, kids are not allowed out at recess at minus 25 degrees Fahrenheit, Celsius. So they can go to school. So, and if it's that cold, they won't have, like, usually kids go to school and they'll get dropped off early, and then they can play outside in the yard before the bell rings. But when it's minus 25 or more, they don't allow the kids to be playing outside. They just bring them all in. And they don't have outdoor recess. But they don't have a heat one. Like, school's still on. Like, it's not canceled or anything. A heat one, I think it's I don't even know if it might be 27 degrees Celsius outside. No, I don't think so. I think it's still, they could play. But I think it's in the classroom. Might even be 27 or 30 degrees Celsius. Hot. The only time that school's closed here in Canada is like fully closed. Like the buses could be cancelled. Yeah, yeah. We could say that was really freaking cold. That was like my video I did going to the store. You had to bundle up because there was major frostbite warnings and stuff like that. It was not something I enjoy. But I also don't like when it's really hot either. Like for here in Canada, schools are only closed if they don't have power, running water, or power. And even without power, like if they have a power outage, depending on how long the power outage is for, like if it's an hour or two, because all the schools here have major windows, right? So they still have enough light, like they're not in complete darkness, right? And they have like they'll have flashlights and stuff that they can use to, I guess, go to the washrooms and stuff like that. Um, but if the power outage is scheduled to be more than a couple of hours, then um, then they'll call in for kids because it's really hard to get the kids to be picked up because the parents don't work near the school. So whenever there's a time that you have to have the kids go home early for something like that, is a pain in the butt to get the parents to pick them up because like, well, it's a pain in the butt for the parents too to try to just get off work because some jobs you just like you just can't. Like if you're a doctor and you're in the middle of surgery and your kid's school calls saying that the school has no power and can you please pick up your child, you cannot like, hey, stop your surgery. You have to arrange somebody to get your kid. It's unusual here. So it's usual is about minus 20. Like our winters usually a cold is minus 20, 25. Um, but most of our winter is under minus 20. So we have about minus 10 to minus 20 is a nice winter day. Usually at that point when it does snow, it's the soft, like fluffy, sticky snow versus like ice pellets. When it gets past minus 15 or so, it usually doesn't snow. So that's why we prefer to have like they predict that this winter where I live is going to be a warmer winter, which means more snow. Because once it gets past minus like 20, there's no snow. Like it's too darn cold for it to drop snow. And then also that way we don't also have freezing rain. Like if it gets too mild, you get the freezing rain on top of this, and then it just causes worse things. Or you get like hail and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I'm kind of looking forward to winter in the sense that it's just here in Canada, minus the whole rush before Christmas stuff, it's just a slower time of year. So there's less expectations on families, on the public to do a lot of stuff. So it's just more like you're expecting to kind of be more homebodies, to be more hibernating, to be, you know, there's just more incentive. Like there's just less things that like other than Christmas. After Christmas, you know, you you could do winter activities and stuff like that, but it's just not as much like in the summertime because it's warm. Everybody wants to go out. Everybody wants to go and travel and stuff. In the wintertime, we tend to just stay at home. Be summertime for you. Yes. Whereabouts are you? Are you in Australia side of the world or southern South America? My friend from high school lives in New Zealand, so it's always weird seeing her Christmas stuff when her kids getting like summer stuff for Christmas. And their school goes from like January to December instead of like our school goes from September to June. I love crunching snow. I I like when it's winter in the sense that, like, well, A, it kills all the bugs, right? So it. You're gross. Mexico down by Texas and Colorado. Okay. You're in winter BC. Yes, okay. Oh, just because of the. It's warmer. Yeah, because you're in the warmer states. You guys don't really see snow, do you? Like, when the kids were smaller, we went to Disney in Florida in end of January. So it was January 31st to like February 11th or so. And that was the slow time at Disney. So a couple of the rides were under repair, but it was like, hey, we checked. That was the exact cheapest time to go, less time, like less lineups for rides and stuff like that. But it was cool there. It was about maybe 70 degrees. We still went swimming. Yeah, yellow snow is gross. Well, so that's the thing is we have 4 seasons. We try to appreciate all 4 seasons because each season does allow for different things. So like we have a very short but very productive growing season. So from May till October, things grow like exponentially. Like whatever you guys can grow throughout the year, we grow in like 3-4 months, and everything grows like it's like on steroids or whatever. Like boom. Except for citrus fruit and like pineapples, palm trees, that type stuff. um, and then the fall is kind of harvest, so that's when everybody's harvest is just before our Thanksgiving in October, your Thanksgiving in the States. Most Canadians actually kind of do Canadian Thanksgiving, and then we usually some of us tend to also do American Thanksgiving too, because who doesn't like turkey, right? Because you guys have your football game on, and a lot of people I know like football, so they'll do it as well. Hey CR, how's it going? Good morning. See where CR is in BC, he gets like winter early, and it stays late. Hey Grizzly, how's it going? Um, but in Canada, we definitely appreciate all the seasons. So we look forward to when the spring happens. When we look forward to the rain, we look forward to the snow melting. We even look forward to the snow. Like when we had that snow on Sunday, it was like all the kids were outside like making snowballs and little snowmen, and then like it's melting. Then we had the rain. So uh, it can rain. It can snow anytime from now. We'll be fine. But yeah, we look forward to the winter of it just being a bit slower time, because once winter happens, that means you do a lot more inside stuff. That's like for my family, I do a lot more baking. I do a lot more casseroles, more bakes and stuff. Do a lot more hearty, stick to your ribs type meals. Get 4 seasons too, but not like Canada. Yeah, ours are like extreme. Like it's like Mother Nature's on like menopause. It's well, heck, in any given week, in every given 3 or 4 days, we could have summertime weather and snow in the same week. Like we did this like last week. We had +20 Celsius and -10 and snow. I'm like, okay. Like one day I was wearing a tank top and capri pants and I was warm in the house. And I went outside and put doing stuff outside. And then 4 days later we had snow. Like figure that out. It's like she's having a major hot flash. Rain? No, no. See, I like snow better than rain. See, rain, you're guaranteed to get wet. And then you get wet and you get damp and you get cold to your bone. Snow, you know it's snowing outside. You dress better. You dress prepared for snow. Snow, you're cold, but you get bundled up you can walk around in the snow and not necessarily get wet. You get home, you take off your stuff, you're not wet and cold to the bone. Now, when it's crazy ass cold, I don't like that either. But a minus 10 degrees is nothing. I'm still wearing Crocs. A couple days I haven't worn socks with my Crocs because I'm like, yeah, it's not that cold. It's 42 yesterday for a high, which is 5 degrees. It's bipolar weather sometimes. Well, I just say she's like having menopause, hot flash. It's more fun to play in the snow than play. True. I appreciate the rain. I just don't want to go out when it's raining. If I have to go out the bus, like in the wintertime, I have no problem going out and doing my errands because I'm bundling up. I'm getting prepared for the snow. I'm not going to get completely soaked going out and doing my errands. If I have to do groceries without a ride, like if I have to go to the store and pick up some things with my bag, I am going to get soaked. My bag's going to get soaked. Whatever I buy is going to get soaked, no matter what. No matter what. And then I get home and I have to have puddles on the floor from the stuff that's I brought in because we're all soaked. And then I have to clean that up. That's a lot more cleanup. Snow, you brush off the snow, it stays outside. There's a little bit of puddles by the front door. And you can play in the snow, especially with sticky snow. You can make snowmen. Kids like it. When it's cold snow, you can make maple toffee on the snow. Fresh snow. You scoop up some fresh snow, boil the toffee down, and make toffee. Yum yum yum. Yes, I'm in Canada. I live in Kanata, which is the west end suburb of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, the nation's capital. So yes, I'm in Canada. If you look at my last video, we had snow on the weekend and was wondering if it was going to keep the snow was going to stay and keep on going till Halloween, which was yesterday. It didn't. We were lucky. It warmed up a bit, so it melted. We did have rain on Halloween. It stopped just before the trick-or-treaters were going. And then we went, I took my youngest out trick-or-treating for 2 hours, and it didn't rain the whole time. Like, I had a little bit of mist, but nothing, like, I was not wet. I was not cold. I was not, when we got home, then it started to rain again, so. Yes, CR's also in Canada. Hey, Sherry, good morning. How's it going? But that legalization over there, yes, got legalized on the 17th of October. And then we had also a postal strike. So it's a rotation postal strike, so now it's just hit Ottawa. But um, people are making it as a big deal, and it really isn't. Going okay. How about you? No, she's still having the low iron, low hemoglobin. She made it to school 3 days this week. She's home today. Um, Last week she made it to school 1 full day. 2 days I had to pick her up early, and 2 days she didn't make it. So she's improving. She's when she's there, she's doing the work, so she's getting the work done. So the marks that she's been handing stuff in and doing the tests, like she has a test tomorrow, so hopefully she makes it for that test. A test she had this week was postponed until next week, just because we weren't too because she needed to have some time to study, and because this past weekend she was not out of her room much. We went out. We did go out to go swimming for a couple of hours, but that was in the evening, and she had basically been in her room the whole day. Before that, like, we're trying to scare her out of the house because she had been in home trying to sleep and that um, for like almost 3 days. By then, we're like, okay, let's try and go swimming, and because she wanted to go swimming this past weekend, and we did, but then that also tired her out. And Sunday she didn't go to church because she was not feeling well. We went to my in-laws, but She didn't fall asleep at my in-laws. The last few weeks she's gone to my in-laws, had supper, and lied on the couch or that downstairs and fallen asleep. I'm like, you know, which doesn't really help with the whole insomnia. No, no, I do not, but I don't have an issue with those who do. I just prefer that they don't necessarily smoke around me because I find it stinks. But I don't think it should be criminalized, anyways. Like, of all the things out there, you don't see people smoking and causing, like, mass murders and stuff, you know? Versus somebody who drinks and gets all drunk and then they go start driving and causes accidents, or goes beats up people in a bar, or goes home and beats up and kills their wife. You know, the people I do know some people who do smoke, and that's fine. Yeah, it smells like skunk. Well, I live across the street from a high school, and the kids smoke it on the sidewalk. Like, and it's like, it's not legal for them. That hasn't been legal for them for years, but they still do because they don't smoke on school property. When I was in high school, kids went and hid in the bushes to smoke, but here they just go off school property on the sidewalk, which is city property, so it's still legal, like still illegal. So I don't know. I still think that there's going to be a lot of things that they have to figure out, legalization and fines and stuff, because you still should not be able to drive and all that stuff with it. There's some hefty fines for that, so but well, exactly. It has definitely good so it's been legal for medical benefits the whole time. You just had to get a prescription for it for like years. Like, I know people who have it for medical benefits. Um, but again, it's still for medical benefits. It's not covered by your insurance. Like, you still have to pay for it. Like, I think. Well, no, the one person I do know that has it for medical doesn't have insurance, but doesn't have a job. These kids here. Yeah, so there's not that really here. Here people drink, like, the kids are drinking and smoking pot. That's about the extent. There's not usually a lot of stuff other than that. But I have no problem with people. I know some people are very strong against it, and I know people who are strong for it. I I don't think it should be illegal. I think there should be some regulations on it, like cigarettes, like booze. You know, and hey, if we can tax it and we can get money to pay for better health care and better programs for other things, more power to it, right? Well, exactly, and exactly, they have pain, help for pain. I know a lot of people have pain for pain and stuff like that. It does help, so that's even better, you know, and it's good for other things too. So there's like just the oils and stuff is good for like seizures and stuff like that. Some people, but that's awesome. Looks like I have a friend who has a license for it, but she doesn't take it until she's at a home because she doesn't drive with her or anything like that. She takes that at night, or if she's going to be home during the day, she'll take it in the morning. But just at night because she has pain, like the rheumatoid arthritis stuff. So, but I've got to get going. I have appointment soon. So it's been wonderful chatting with you guys. Yeah, so here there has been a few times where stuff has been spiked with other stuff. There's been a few, so we've had the Noxolin drugs. So we can get the kits at the pharmacy for free. If you have a teenager, or if you know somebody who does drugs or whatever, you could go to the pharmacy and get one for free. Yes, so some people take it. So if because the stuff that was on the streets was sometimes getting laced with stuff, bad stuff, and that's bad. Oh yes, I will. Well, her channel's still up, and they're singing. So if you look on some of my videos that have her in it, I've put her channel in there, but also I'm linked to it. It's AJ Hyde. I could try. I'll put her link here. You can check out. She has some of her singing, but also my playlist of Abbey or choir. She has that. Let me go see. Do, do, do. Just go. YouTube AJ HYDE Hyde. Let me get the link. No, not that one. She has a Mad Hatter. I put the link in one of the videos that she was in. Do, do, do. There we go. Yeah, she hasn't put um, new stuff up for a couple months, but that's her channel. Feel free to check her out, and I will tell her that she has to pop in here and do some. I'll record it for her channel, and she can put it on her channel, and she could do something for maybe live here sometime when she's feeling a bit better. Because I know she loves singing. So, have a great day, and see you next time. And happy November 1st, which means Halloween candy usually half price at like Walmart, or at least 30% off. So go there and grab it. It's great for Christmas time to stuff in the stockings, or gifts for co-workers or family. Get a nice mug, fill it with candy. Always good. Always good. So have a great day. Bye, friends.